AITA for finally calling back unwanted solicitors and playing my speakers into the phone. I get unwanted calls daily that my phone refers to as scam likely for around the past year. When I block them, they call from a new number. When I press the button they ask me to press to stop receiving calls, they keep calling anyway. Sometimes I'll answer and not say anything, and they eventually hang up and leave a voicemail. I cannot get a new number as my family all knows this number, and I feel good knowing they always know how to reach me. I've had it forever. I decided to answer the first one that came in today and cursed a little as I asked him to stop calling. The guy immediately starts cursing back and telling me to calm down, little man. So over the next 2 hours, I randomly called 10 times and turned my TV speakers up close to max with my phone touching one and played random songs from YouTube until they hung up on me, mostly heavy metal. 3 hours after this, they called me back again. 10. AITA for leaving my ex who killed our cat. Also posted to Am I wrong? AITA for leaving my ex over the fact he technically killed our cat. So this is kinda an old story, but was brought up recently with my brother who just moved back to the same state as me. He had asked me why I wasn't with my ex anymore, and I simply said it's cause he caused the death of our cat Onyx. Onyx was a big, about 10 pounds, fully black domestic short hair. For those who may want to know, who I loved and did everything I could for him. My brother asked me how my ex had killed my car. So I told him. At the time my ex worked at the county animal control as a kennel technician. So he'd clean up, feed and just look after the cats and dogs that were there. I worked nights at a grocery store and never got home until he had already left for the day. Closing parenthesis. One day I had gotten home from work and went to feed Onyx like I normally would do when I got home. I couldn't find him, so I got worried. I started to tear my home apart looking for him. I found him curled up under my ex bed. He was ice cold. After 30 minutes of me finding him, I called my ex and told him the news. It took me a minute to calm myself to make the call. My ex, in the most coldest and non-caring, told me, "Okay. And, I guess just put him in the bathtub until I can get home at 6. I just said okay and hung up, though I never did that. I found Onyx's favorite blanket and wrapped him up before putting him in a cardboard box I had found. After dealing with that I went outside to find a spot to bury him. He is now placed beside my childhood pets Baby Girl and Diablo, who all passed years before I got an Onyx. Once my ex gotten home, he and I sadly laid Onyx to rest. My ex quickly got to work cleaning up all Onyx's things. AKA he was throwing all his stuff away but refused to talk to me and wouldn't stop even after I begged because I personally wasn't ready for that. All while my ex did this, he said I was being childish and that it was just a cat and to get over it. Now a very important note is that Onyx had kitty AIDS and was asymptomatic. So if he ever gotten sick I wouldn't have any way to know until it was too late, according to our vet. Alright, now to the important part. How he did it. A few days after Onyx's death, me and my ex were in our room while I was getting ready for work. My ex asked me if Onyx was still sleeping in our dirty laundry hamper, something he had always done. I said, probably. Why do you ask? Cause it shocked me that he was willing to talk about him at all. Cause for the last 2 weeks the animal control, has been fighting feline panleukopenia virus. Something similar to parvo for dogs. I had no idea and went quiet before I looked at him on the verge of crying. And you never told me. Why? He then said it didn't see it as a big deal. Mind you, I also have a dog, and when they were fighting parvo my ex would undress outside and go straight to the shower to try and make sure my dog wouldn't get sick. I was already crying and told him to get out. That we're over and to get out of my house. He did, though was trying to argue the whole time. Once he took all his things and left, I called out of work that night and we hadn't spoken since. Back to the present, I asked my brother why he brought up my and my ex separation. Apparently he's in contact with my ex and my ex has been telling people he has no idea why we split. My brother then said I was childish for leaving my ex over a cat. I shrugged it off and changed topic from then, since I've had my ex blocked and still never unblock him and talk to him again. So am I in the wrong for leaving me ex cause he might have killed my cat? Updates are I saw a question saying how could I allow my cat to sleep in a hamper that may have contaminated clothes. So I should specify that there are 2 hampers for our clothes. One in the bathroom that he made very clear to me when we put it in there that it was only for his clothes from work. We had a second hamper in our bedroom that was for my clothes and his day off clothes that our cat would lay it. I wasn't aware at the time that he had started to throw his dirty work clothes in with my clothes in the bedroom hamper.